Hey folks, my name is Pravus. Welcome to more New Cycle. We are continuing our series with the game. It is not sponsored anymore, alright? The reason I'm playing is because I genuinely do like and enjoy this game, and it seems like a lot of you guys do too, and I want to find out where the story is going to go. So, as of last video, a lot of our economy seems to be back on track where we need it to be. We're producing most of our raw materials, though we're starting to have some trouble with some things, like logs and so on. We should be able to fix a lot of that given some time. The stuff I really want to work on is some new technology, because it seems we've advanced in terms of our population and our knowledge to cycle, what was it, 6 or 7, I think. I think we got into, cycle 6 at the end of this here. So we got all these technologies unlocked, but I can't do anything with them yet. So we gotta start with basic things like the metalworking techniques. Get some more tools together, work on this, and start getting far more efficient metal production and unlock steel and motors. Using that, we should be able to move on to basic machinery, and then I'm hoping conveyor systems using belts to move materials directly from one building to another hopefully is going to greatly boost our efficiency and therefore our economy thrives. That is the hope. Along the way, of course, we could go for the long-distance communications, which should make our off-settlement activities a bit stronger. And there's also going to be things like old gold and petrochemicals, because we could start using oil at some point soon, though I'm going to need steel for any of that to work as well. And then, of course, we could get some dairy farms. If I'm having trouble with food, that is something I'll consider, but for now, I'm kind of happy with what we're doing right now. I think, by the way, that I have finished scouting the entirety of the map. It doesn't appear that there are any new zones that I could discover. I just need to find one more question mark up over here, and that is it. So at least with some of these scouts, we can actually start recalling them now. I'm not sure if there's any advantage to keeping them out here in the world. Speaking of the world, it is kind of fun watching some of the resources slowly being brought back to New Bjerk over here. We'll go ahead and start building out some logging operations, places where I've already got some roads and basic infrastructure set up, so I get the most value possible. And we have a new event. Accumulating masses. Our settlement has begun to resemble a giant machine fueled by its labor force. We need to keep it well provided for. A total of 350 people should suffice for now. Really? Okay, I've got like 245 plus children, so I mean, okay, gotta get like another 100 people or so. If you insist, I feel like we're doing pretty good with what I've got right now. Our infirmary over here seems to be doing a pretty decent job. So we've got some medicine, plus we have some fruit being distributed. If I take a look over at my overview and stuff, I want to see health indeed is going up. Okay, so it's up to at least regular. Love to get it up to good, but this is fine for the moment. So the only thing dragging me down are workforce conditions, whatever that's supposed to mean exactly. But everything else is at least in the positive, so there we go. One thing that confuses me is probably the entertainment. This didn't make a ton of sense to me before either. I'm trying to figure some of it out, because the pub should be able to distribute fun services to everyone, and yet it seems like I've got nothing going on. I should have paper. I don't have dairy, I know that. And I should have some drinks. So why, pray tell, is no one entertained? This is one of those things where I guess I'm not really going to get an answer. It may even be a bug for all I know. I'm not too sure. Part of the problem is I had to play on a special preview build just for content creators to record the last few videos. And unfortunately, if I try to upgrade to the branch you guys are all on now with some of the latest hotfixes, it's going to delete my colony because the save files are incompatible. So we're going to have to truck along with what I've got. It's entirely possible something like this is not intended, and if you play it yourself, it's not going to be an issue, and I'm just kind of stuck. If that's the case, though, that's fine. We'll just call it a slight extra challenge mode or something. Risk of accidents? Oh, that looks dramatic. Ah! Alright, our city is adorned with more mighty structures. The lives of our people in the shadows seem to be becoming more and more insignificant. Accidents are inevitable, but I'm guessing we should do things to try and reduce them. Well, okay, fine. What can we do? Plan for regular checks in complex production facilities. Isn't this why we need kind of the whole maintenance thing? Which I'm pretty sure I have, but okay. So, let's see. For the regulation of occupational safety and working conditions, the community will prepare for and come up with a proposal for transparent arrangement. Yeah, I mean, that seems reasonable enough. We're going to wait for, I guess, the Council of Citizens or whatever to come up with a few ideas. Yeah, sure, as long as I don't have to do the hard work. So, let's see. Metalworking is done. Can't do basic machinery until I get a lot more paper. That is probably fine. How much of this are we consuming? It says none, because again, no one's doing any doodles in the pub. So, okay, just wait a little while and that should build up. Fine, fair enough. So, we could try upgrading things like our smith. We have the materials for it. That said, in anticipation of conveyor belts, I may want to consider turning this into a big industrial area close to all of the mines. And I think that's what I'm going to do, so let's try placing maybe 2 of these over here. Can I actually delete some of these roads? Is that a thing? Can I delete roads and maybe rework this a little bit? The answer, of course, is yes, you most certainly can do that. Hold on, let's go ahead and delete some roads and we'll get a more grid-based system, because this place is going to get industrialized to all heck. There we go, that's better. Now, one thing I don't know is if I should leave some space, because maybe moving the conveyor belts around is going to be tough. Until we've messed with these, I'm not really sure what to expect. I'm going to leave a tiny bit of space in between them. Can't build there. Why? Do I not have enough materials? Yeah, I don't have enough bricks. All right, fine. We'll have to start with 1. Yeah, until we know exactly how the conveyor belts work and how they hook up, I'm a little bit wary of making things too compact. Looks like it is also time to upgrade our main hall once again. An important day for our community. Yeah, I still don't know what benefit we really get out of upgrading our town hall, but okay. Provide some bricks, some iron, some glass, and wire, and it'll happen automatically. I have absolutely no choice in the matter. It's just gonna be a thing. Fine, fair enough. All right, people should have some safety regulation proposals ready to go. What do you guys got? Let's see. We prepared 2 roadmaps, one with a more complete approach, the other being a bit more lax. So I think y'all know I'm going to go for the complete approach, but let's see exactly what's going to end up happening. Craftsmen are designed as control officers. Designated as control officers. Extra work is involved, taking away from other duties so they lose their workforce. Buildings may temporarily stop working during inspection and control operations. Also, we need to be using more maintenance, wire, glass, and metal. Okay, so 15 workforce for the craftsman class does suck. Lots of attraction. Wow, okay. And some morale goes up for everybody. In advanced structures, productivity can be decreased slightly. And amount of wire used goes up. Okay. Or efficiency, workforce goes down regardless, it looks like. So no matter what, that's going to happen. So the question becomes, is it worth trying to go for the better safety in the long term? Basically, yeah, so we're losing 7 workforce. The way I see it, the differential is 8 workforce for 8 morale. Actually, it's more like 8 workforce for 13 morale difference. And some attraction rating. The productivity of efficiency sucks, but it's going to go down by 5 anyway. So yeah, to me, as painful as this is, you're going to take some pain with efficiency regardless and gain nothing from it. This is at least going to get you something, and yeah, it's a bit more painful, but in theory could make things better. So we're going to go for the safety first and foremost and hope that that was not the wrong call. Also, a whole bunch more strangers just arrived. I'm going to accept them, and the reason I'm going to accept them, even though I don't feel like I have the space or the need for them right now, is I might want to start using them for more of the out-of-settlement resource production. More stuff. So, for example, I could get myself some watchtowers, roads, woodcutter, well, and a mine. I need more bricks. But if we can do all that, that's more people I can send out here just to get me a whole bunch of extra stuff. Also, the metalworks is under construction right now. I'm curious to see exactly what this is able to do and how it compares to a smith. Answer is, it is able to make tools, wire, steel, and motors. Sounds to me like I'm going to want to have at least 4 of these if I want to have somebody working on all 4 categories, huh? Well, we are struggling a little bit with things like tools. So for now, let's do that. Assign some craftsmen and some extra workers. And our efficiency is still not great because the occupational safety... Yeah, that's bad across the board there. But we're producing 38 per day as opposed to our current smith, which makes 24. Though admittedly at a higher efficiency in workforce. Interesting. It looks to me like we're not producing enough tinned rations, by the way, if we are going to take advantage of more stuff out there. So let's make sure we get some more people and craftsmen assigned here. I don't have enough of them. That's fine. We should be able to train another craftsman without too much of an issue. Get this up, produce 53 a day. Because remember, while I think you can theoretically still produce some resources from the outside world, this seems to boost it. Though there are times it still feels inconsistent to me. I look at this, for example, here. 0 waters produced per day. Well, I don't know why. I think it may be because it's calculating, because these guys are clearly traveling to New Bjork right now to deliver some water. So maybe it's just like it's so far away, it's acting as if in the 24 hours past, nothing has been delivered, and that's fine if that's the case. But regardless, more food supplies being delivered does seem to at least boost things up a little bit. I imagine the same thing will be true if I can produce an excess of tools and eventually fuel. And I bet you we see even more value out of each of these regions. So yeah, it is absolutely worth having a few people back home producing more tinned rations so I can get more stuff overall. Gosh dang it, just as I was talking about trying to do tinned rations, what happens? God smites my general workshop. This happens way more frequently than it should. I look at a building and then it gets boomed. I wonder if there's like something weighted in the game. Oh, this thing you just looked at, in order to have more of an emotional impact, let's go ahead and blow it up with lightning. For God's sake. All right, I'm temporarily going to go ahead and swap over to getting some steel, which surprisingly takes both iron ingots, not the ore, plus some coal, plus some clay in order to manufacture. Ouch. Steel is just a smidge expensive to make, but I need some anyway. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to continue with my tech. We should have upgraded the main hall now, by the way. See that going up, getting replaced? Boom! There we go, and let there be light. Alright, so it's a nicer looking main hall. Still doesn't seem to do much of anything for me, but it's kind of cool. Does that symbol look suspiciously like a hangman's noose to anybody else? It's not what it's supposed to be, but that's what I'm taking away from it. Rebirth of the Machines, a new message from the community. Look around, see how our adventure has turned out. A flourishing community. More, our expertise on electrical infrastructure and metalworking has advanced greatly. We now have electronic circuits. We can start small by automating some simple tools, but this will be kickstarting a mechanization movement that can carry us further. Yeah, do this, produce power tools. Research basic machinery. That is already kind of the plan, and actually we can do this now that we have enough paper. Let's do it. Now that that's researched, I think once again in the general workshop this is where I could be, which costs motors and steel and wire to make. Ouch, that is expensive. Okay. Well, until I get myself some more metal workers, that is a little out of reach. The good news is, more or less across the board, my economy looks to be strong. I'm using up my iron ingots too fast, but that is about it. Food, stone, other things looking good. And of course, we can get a much better materials outlook over here. So if I take a look at the balances, yeah, we're actually running out of vegetables a little bit. Clay's not doing enough. Alcohol, herbs, and stuff. That's because I'm making medicine right now. Power tools, I don't have any. Fruits we're not using up fast enough. Yeah, so we get an idea of where I have too many workers right now and where I should be reallocating resources. This is a really helpful screen, honestly. I love this thing. Another event. Healthcare. Oh, good lord, what do you want now? Our knowledge of chemistry and aromatic plants has advanced immensely. Yes, like so many things, I have led you to greatness. Vaccine production. One of the standard practices of the old world would not strain us too much. We want to develop a vaccine that provides resistance against the disease of the winter season. Now, see, that would be interesting, because the winter season always comes with a health penalty. I wonder if this gets rid of, or at least nullifies to some degree, that penalty. That would be great. Sure, we'll produce some glass, some copper, some bronze, and then we're going to have to produce things like some herbs and some alcohol. I should have developed a fair bit of steel, by the way. Can I go for the conveyors? Actually, we didn't even need steel to do that. We just needed the iron, some wire, and some paper, which is fine. The long-distance communication could be good and stuff, too, but for now, sure, conveyor systems. I really want to see what this does. I'd like to point out, by the way, that I think we are officially out of stone sources on this map. One of my field camps was out of resources, so I got rid of it. Trying to replace it, there's nothing to be had. There's a bit more iron over here, so I'll go ahead and take advantage of this to some degree, but yeah, that's about it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to have to rely exclusively on things like some, the pits, in order to get some stone, but we really do need to get those off-settlement infrastructures up and running. Not that I wasn't doing that before, mind you, I absolutely was, but it's more dire than ever. That actually makes me think that we need to work on getting the long-distance communications soon, too. Though I don't know what is involved in making these supplies. I think those were tool supplies, right? So if we have an absolute ton of tools to go around, we could probably boost up their efficiency even further. Next step of the vaccine is ready to go. All right, so they've got all their syringes and medical supplies. Now we just wait for progress over 30 days. Metal veins. Chief, with one bold new initiative, we can make tremendous power to our entire infrastructure. We have access to plenty of resources, but we need more advanced production facilities. I agree. And they could be more autonomous. We can achieve and even sustain power by keeping the resources in a continuous flow with conveyor belts. Alright, so the game's now saying, hey, develop the conveyor system. That is literally what I'm working on. If you will wait, hang on, wait for it. There we go, it's done. See? Wow, it's almost like your chief is on top of it. Okay, so, how does this work? Is it under utilities? Tier 3? No. Production? No. Other? Gotta find these conveyor belts first. Where do they be? It's under residence, weirdly enough. Tier 1 along with the roads. All right. Linear component of a fully mechanized belt conveying system consumes electricity to ensure it works. Okay, that's fine. So hold on, let's think about this for a minute. Can I get a conveyor belt? Okay, actually, there's a whole tutorial for this. It's that important. Okay, so this is basically saying I can place it similar to how I do roads. You can also make it go up and down, higher and lower using shift. All right, and I can see from this video that some of these buildings do have a little input into them right there. So that's what we need to do, is go from a mine to some sort of a smelter. Real quick, can we check and see, do we have any sort of an input in mind for these smelters? I do not see one. So I can't upgrade you then. And now people are bringing me questions about overhunting. Yeah, if we hunt too much, it's going to cause issues. Oh my gosh. Meat production goes down by 60% and fish by 80%? Oh man. Ooh, yeah, this does not seem great, but it also does probably point to the reality that, yeah, eventually meat and fish are going to start going down. I will temporarily respect this. We may want to decide we want to repeal that regulation later. But the idea being, we're producing more than enough meat at the moment, especially from off-settlement sources, so maybe we're okay. But I'm still believing that as this game progresses, the renewal per year is going to go down to make things more and more difficult. And we have, are these slavers who just arrived? We're known as HR. Human Resources? No, we're here on business. Let's see, we are not an established organization. We foreclose on individuals who fail to fulfill their responsibilities, and then we deliver these people to those who cover their debts. Yeah, so you get indentured servants and then sell them. Got it. We can get prices. We must pay to bring these people into our community as free individuals, or say go away. Tell me what you want for their freedom. Just stop talking crap. 450 basic tools! Wow! Oh, and I don't even have an option to say no. Uh-huh. Well, that's not what I wanted, but yeah, okay. I'm definitely not seeing a use for these conveyor belts despite what everyone has told me. I don't see any inputs, outputs, anything anywhere that I can make use of. Which obviously doesn't feel great, because the biggest thing I need is boost for things like my iron production. I was hoping I could dump things in here. It might be that we have to get to the next level, which requires cement and machinery to do that. And then once we get there, we'll be able to start dumping things in. That's what the video seemed to imply to me. We can't even take anything out of our mine at the moment. I don't even see an output over here, because this might also need to get upgraded. Cannot upgrade the coal generator. Is it possible to do things like dump coal into the generator? Again, I don't even see an input. So either I'm missing something very important, or we literally can't take advantage of this yet. And this wouldn't be the first time I've thought while playing this game that it kind of feels like sometimes you get access to things that you're just unable to use. And that's a little bit weird to me, but okay. For now, let's go ahead and get a long-distance communication, because no matter what, I feel like I should be able to take advantage of that somehow. So what does it take to get basic supplies? Some wires, some tools, and some lumber. All right, we can go ahead and assign at least a couple of people here. You can only produce a handful per day. Ouch! This is a little expensive. Whoa, why did the consumption of my basic tools skyrocket all of a sudden up to 83? Please tell me it's not just from having the extra tool production and stuff over here. Oh, man. All right. Yeah, all right. Okay, cool. And then the power drills, we already know that this is going to be very difficult to pull off. I need to produce a load of these. I don't think this is likely to happen for a bit. Forget that. Yeah, and now our basic tool consumption just dropped down to 27. There's no consistency, and I'm not sure what's driving it. Now, this is interesting. My metalworks, I can't build next to it. Why not? Huh. Okay. Maybe it's deliberately trying to force you to get some room so that there's room for conveyor belts. That's not immediately obvious, though. Can I place anything else next to it? I can, but not here. Yeah, there's got to be something hidden as far as the inputs and so on. Is there anything I'm missing as far as layers? Mining layers, fertility, drilling layers? There's apparently a lot of oil in this direction. That's exciting, but no, that's not what I'm looking for. All right, well, we'll let that get going. I think we just bought the freedom of 13 more people. It was the right thing to do in the sense that it was moral and nice. It's not great for my economy. And we've reached another cycle. You're kidding me. I wasn't even trying for that, but now we're at cycle 7. Alrighty, we are in New Metropolis. Diesel plants, train stations, railways, industrial kilns, sawmills, greenhouses, resource camps, advanced water pumps, quarries, and advanced distilleries. All of that is exciting. I have no use for any of it right now because I haven't gotten to my prerequisites. Again, this is where things can feel a little bit awkward in the sense that we're unlocking tech faster than I'm capable of taking advantage of it. Therefore, it kind of feels like the pacing might be off. But I might just be really good at building up my population and all of that. But maybe I'm not so good at getting all my research and stuff done and getting my economy on track. I don't know. I'm either doing really well in one category, better than the devs expected, or really badly in another. Or both. Well, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this basic mine here, even though I don't technically need it. I can't because I don't think we've actually unlocked the next tech. Hold on, is there something here about better mines? There probably is. Yeah, it's going to be this mining facility right here. All right. Let's finish up field work, then we'll go ahead and get started on this. The reason is pretty straightforward. I want to at least find out how these conveyor belts work. That is the goal of this episode. It's really important that I figure that out. And I can't tell if I'm just not seeing anything capable of taking advantage of it, or if my mines simply need to be the advanced version, and that's why I don't see an output. It could very well be one of those things where if I can just hook up to an output, the inputs suddenly reveal themselves, and I figure out that I've got a lot more options before me than I thought. That's what I'm hoping for. But we'll wait for that to finish. In the meantime, vaccine field trials are done. All right, it's been 30 days of trying to figure something out. Let's see, we have some sort of an extraordinary achievement. Our months of toil have finally paid off. We can now take precautions against certain diseases. Although medicine consumption and treatment lengths will increase to some extent, we are confident we will manage a stable enough process to be able to afford them. Okay, good. So a new regulation becomes available. The probability of epidemics has decreased. I've never even had a proper epidemic, so I'm glad to avoid that. Health goes up for everybody, and per capita medicine distribution goes up by 60%. So more consumption, sure. But, well, I mean, our health looks terrible right now, but this is going to go up. And the reason, of course, that our health looks terrible is because I stopped producing medicine because I was producing some alcohol for other things. Right, let's go ahead and get this going. Also, can I point out that now we're consuming a small amount of paper, and we have some drink. So some houses, only 4, are considered entertained. I am not sure what is the limiting factor when it comes to this pub, but we should now be able to start getting things like some farms up and running, barns, there we go, and that would let me start producing meat, leather, and dairy products. And this doesn't even require fertility. Awesome. Food and water-wise, we're still looking really good, and I'm producing more food than I can possibly need. And that, by the way, was with me being a very environmentally conscious person. So that's looking solid as heck. How many settlers do we get now? 26. All right, population's jumped up to 325. Let's start producing some dairy products. Only 1 worker required to make 36 a day? All right, it does take some grain, but I mean, that doesn't seem so bad. And actually, our population officially has increased above 350 once you factor in the children. It's getting crowded here, guys. And sandstorm. Beautiful. But we should be able to handle that without too much trouble. Just maintenance and stuff. Workforce goes down. Blah, blah, blah. Mining facilities. We'll start with the coal mine over here and see if we can get this thing upgraded. There we go. Our specialists are now available too. We've rediscovered the academy. We should build a vocational training center and train craftsmen into specialists. See, that sounds great and all. However, first, I need to know if there's a reason to even have any specialists, because so far, I don't have a building that I think would benefit from these at all. Well, I take that back. All right, the mining facility apparently would benefit from one. So, okay. Also, hold on. Conveyor belt settings. So, sure enough, there's the symbol. This thing could use conveyor belts. Weirdly, it says it's an input. That can't be right. Hold on. Can we flip this around? It says socket not connected. Input socket. What input could I possibly need in a mining facility? It should be the other way around. Could try something kind of weird. I could build a quick little merger thing just for the purpose of hooking up a conveyor belt and see what happens. And maybe once it's hooked up in some way, like this, Maybe I can go to the settings and... No, flip it around. Why is this an input? That doesn't seem right. I think this is a bug. Am I wrong on that? It doesn't feel right. There's no reason for this to be an input. Everything I am seeing from the videos as far as the tutorials say that that's not how it's supposed to work. In fact, I think even the basic mine is supposed to have an output. So this can't be right. Oh, I really hope this is not one of those things where I am unable to actually enjoy this game as it's intended because I got a few bugs in some of the builds. Because if so, I might have to actually start over with this series. That would feel really bad. Hey folks, it's Pravus from the future. Sorry to interrupt, but real quick, this may actually not be a bug. This might be an intentional feature. Kind of an odd one, and I'll talk more about that next time, but I think it's actually fine. We're going to find out next time around, so be patient and stay tuned. Assuming that this can indeed somehow work, though, let's take a look at a few other things. All right, I'm running out of food pretty rapidly. We can go ahead and start boosting up things like soup kitchens, or I could try to go for better meals. Are we getting capped out on fair meals for some reason? Now, why would that be the case? Well, we've got the theoretical training done, so I can get a vocational training center. Let's learn about oil. And let's get this sucker upgraded so that we'll be able to start producing some specialists. Done, and I can take a couple of craftsmen, and we can give this a go. Paper and bronze ingots to make specialists. Odd, but okay. Great success. We have 2 specialists, and out of curiosity, what would happen if I assigned one at the mining facility? Workforce goes up by 20. That's substantial, yeah. But notice this. Efficiency is down because coal rock supply conveyor. So I know efficiency goes down if you do not have the necessary input. This is absolutely a bug. It has to be a bug, unless there's a way to flip it. Because I could understand if you had a smelter that required coal and you did not supply the coal and it said, hey, efficiency jumps down, right? That would make sense. But this says that the mining facility that produces coal somehow needs a supply of its own coal from its own conveyor, which makes no sense. So this is definitely something wrong specifically with the preview build that I am on for content creators. I don't think this is a problem with the main game, or if it is, it's going to get patched like immediately. But I need to now reach out to the devs and say, hey, is there a way to fix this? Because if so, great. If not, I'm kind of hosed here, so I really would rather not start over, but that absolutely could be what ends up happening here. All right, cool. Let me see if I can get this solved, and then I'm hoping to have some good news. In the meantime, let's go ahead and end this video, because it does look like we've managed to produce ourselves all the way up to Cycle 7. There's only 1 remaining. At this point, what I would need to do is start working on getting railways and so on. And the funny thing is, we actually probably can finish out a fair bit of this series, even if I don't have access to conveyors. I just know it's going to ruin a lot of the fun of the game, so I want to get the best possible experience here. But we're shockingly close, to getting to the last cycle. All I need is some more required knowledge, and we're there. And that will unlock the industrial forges, mines, factories, and so on. So we're almost there, guys. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If so, I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and share that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.